everyone. Good morning or good afternoon, depending where you all join us from today. And welcome to our session on Microsoft Teams calling. And just before we start, we'd love to remind everyone that this training will be recorded and available on demand for 108 days. And you have the option to join anonymously if you prefer. Just log out and log back again using the web browser. And to make the most of the session, if it's the first time you join a live event, I'm just going to go through some meeting controls so you can enjoy the most. On our left side here on the bottom of our screen, you should see the play and pause. Because we are live during these 60 minutes, you can pause us at any time. So when you come back, you should see the live option between these two buttons in here. And if you click there, it will bring you back on the moment where we as the trainers are live. If you play again, it will carry on from where you stopped. On the right side, you can see the captions options where you can turn on or off. On the side, there's the cog icon. Inside the cog icon, there's all the settings available for this session, including captions again and video quality. Because this is based on a stream, it's based on your internet connection, the quality of the video can vary a bit and it might be blurry on your side. So if you're seeing a little bit blurry, you can change the video quality from normal to high. And you have also the option to go to full mode screen. Just do not forget, if you use this option here and you have the focus all the screen only on the session, you lose the visibility of the Q&A. So Q&A should be on your top right. And is these two little speech bubbles in here, and this is where you can interact with us. So if you have any questions, or if you just want to say hello and let us know where you join us from, you just drop a message for us in the Q&A. So carry on here today, we're going to talk about Teams calling. And just let's present ourselves first of all. My name is Natalia. Pleasure to be here with you all. I'll be leading the session and going through all the tool with you today. And with me, I have the pleasure to have my colleague Richard. And Rich, do you like to introduce yourself and tell about your role, please?
Hello, everyone, and welcome to today's session. My name is Rich, and I will be behind the scenes just answering all of your questions in the Q&A. So if you do have any questions whatsoever, let us know. And, you know, if you're having any troubleshooting issues, please let us know as well so we can help you with that. Just bear in mind that there is a 10 to 20 second delay between when we present and you receive that video feed. So all we ask is if you'd kindly be as detailed with those questions as possible, as the moment that you may be asking about may have already passed. Back over to you, Natalia.
Thank you very much, Rich. So let's see in the agenda what's going to be covering in that session here. So you're going to see the call settings and personalization. You're going to see how we can manage our calls and contacts, our meetings and audio conferencing, what's the difference between them, and of course, questions and answers. We're going to pause through the session too. So if you have any question in the Q&A, we will interact with you, you answer them, and you might cover it live too. So please interact with us. Let us know if you have any question. Just a bit of theory here before you go over the demonstration. We're going to see integration calls, how we can do it seamless into the workflow of work, sorry. And let's not waste time and drop direct into our demonstration. And for that, let's just bear with me a few minutes while I change here screens and go into my demonstration environment. So you all should be seeing now my Teams, and probably it's very similar to yours. I'm using the desktop version at the moment, but you can also use the web browser to log in. And to start off the session, we're gonna go through my status, so my profile picture here. So if we click in here, my profile, my picture, I'm gonna see my availability for me there. And why this is so important for us in this session. As a Teams call session, we're gonna cover here only the most important feature here available for us on the status. That is the do not disturb. As it says, do not disturb mode. You avoid any any message, any call coming through as a notification, as a sound, and interrupt any meeting that you might have. And if you do select this mode, maybe you want to focus on training or something else, just bear in mind that we won't be receiving any calls. So you'll be notified on the left-hand corner here on the activity feed, but it'll be a silence notification, as I like to say, because the sound will not come through. Teams, you only notify you on the activity feed and let you know that you missed a call, someone called you. So the do not disturb can be very useful, but also can defer the calls that you have here receiving, and you might be not notified about that. So very important here, the do not disturb mode. Just bear in mind, if you're using it, it might stop you receiving callings. And to carry on that, on the 3 dots here on the side, you have the settings available. And again, for that session, calls settings are very important, so you can personalize this for us. So let's go on the settings, 3 dots here on the settings options here. And our first stop is on the general tab. So our first option within settings on general. If you scroll a little bit down here, you're gonna find the delegation option. Within delegation is where we can maybe delegate people that can help us make and receive calls on our behalf. So let's see the manage delegates what we can do in here. So once I click in there, you can see that on top of my page here, I have 2 options. I have the people you support, that's the people who I support, and my delegates. I think I have just a delay here, is not loading a little bit. Let's try the other one. There you go. So on my delegates here, let's start for that one. Is everyone in my team that I'm adding as a contacting here as a delegate to support me. I have already Alex with me, and Alex will be played by Rich. So Alex with me here today is Richard, and I'll be Adele on that tenant. So if you see the names going through, you know that is me and Rich here today with you all. And as I have Alex added in here already, I can just easily showcase how we can remove those delegates too. So on the 3 dots there, anytime if I change my mind, I can either edit the Richard permissions or Alex in here and remove him anytime. So I will remove him easily, and let's add him again so you all can see all the process. So Alex is part of my distribution list, is part of my contacts here. So I just start typing his name and he will pop up for me here. I will select Alex, and now automatically all the permissions you come for me. On that, I can select and let Alex make calls on my behalf. I can let him only receive calls maybe, and change calls and delegate settings. The last option here, you give full control to Alex on my behalf. So Alex can add delegates for me too and change in settings. In that case, I will remove the option here, and also I will remove make calls. I only need him to receive my calls in case I'm busy. In case I'm using the do not disturb mode and any emergency happen, anyone needs to contact me, my call will be redirected, deferred direct to Alex. So I can click in add, and again, as it was in the list before, Alex was added back here as my delegate. And again, on the 3 dots in front of his name, I can still change permissions at any time and remove him there. And back on my people I support, there's no error in here. Just a reminder, on this tenant, unfortunately, I'm not supporting anyone at the moment. So here, no one is showing for me on the list. But as you can see, I have no option in there. That's because to support someone, in that case, you need to be added by this person. For example, here, if Alex would do the same as he's my delegate now. If I want him want me to be his delegate, he needs to be adding me on his side, and then I will be showing here Alex on the list that for me. So you don't have options. You need to be added as support by someone else to be shown in here. And let's go back to our settings. We are not going to go over all the settings of the teams because our focus today is on calling. So our next step here, you be on privacy. Within privacy, again, is where you can select the best way to be contacted or maybe not be contacted in here. When we started the session there, we mentioned about the do not disturb mode, that you won't be notified at any point. So in here, within privacy, we can also set change this and personalize this do not disturb. So within the manage priority access, what we can do in here. So let's say I have this filter on my status, I have the do not disturb on, but still Alex is my delegate. I need Alex to contact me anytime, even if I'm busy. I need to receive his notification. So I can add exceptions in that list. So my priority access, you'll be able to bypass the do not disturb mode, and you'll be still receiving notifications for chats, calls, and mentions from the people who are listed below. So Alex is already here on my list. Again, anytime if I want to change, maybe today is one colleague, another day is a different one, you can easily manage this list, just clicking on the X here, removing delegates, and adding again. So just typing his name, I'm adding Alex as my priority access in here. So now, even if I'm in do not disturb mode, Alex can reach out to me anytime. Back on my settings here, going on a little bit down here, we have the blocked contacts. So for example, if I'm working and my work related only contacts can reach out to me, or only people that I know, if I receive any no identified number, I can automatically select this option here and have it blocked. Okay, and on the edit block contacts, we're gonna come back to this a little bit later because this is part of our contact list. When you block someone, here's where we can unblock them. At the moment, I don't think we have anyone else in there, but we're gonna come back to this anyway. And just select this option here. For privacy reasons, it will be very useful to have it on there. So our last stop in here in the settings, it will be the calls tab on the bottom there. When you move to calls, you're gonna see that now we have a little bit specifications here, settings for calling. And the first step here is call answering rules. And believe it or not, Teams have the capability to forward my calls or choose to calls to ring me direct there. So you can see that I have these two options. I can be always the first one to be called. Actually, if someone is calling me, first thing, of course, is to ring me, and then straightforward, just need to follow these steps here to make sure you are set the best way for yourself. So the first option here, if I choose to call me directly, I can then, as a second option, keep no one else. So no one else will be called, even if I don't answer. But I can also select if someone calls me, I can add a new number or contact, and then that you'll be transferred direct to the other contact there. I can maybe ask to ring you also my delegate. Maybe I'm in do not disturb. I want to make sure, Alex, you get this call. Or even if I have a group call setting there, I can select to call a group. And that means that at once, maybe this person who's calling me can have like 5 people answering the call, and they're available to get this call there. And once you select a straightaway call group, if you don't have any selected yet, anyone created, Teams will let you create your first call group in there. And I can start creating one. In that case, I'll add Alex in here, and I'll add Megan. Maybe they are both my assistants, and we need both to be contacted at the same time, and then to ensure you don't miss any call. We don't need to save any to change anything in here, don't have rules or anything. And I can also select the order of this group. Bring it all the same time or in the order above. In that case, Alex, you'll be the first. If Alex doesn't answer, Megan, then you'll be reached out. I can save my options in here, and there you go. In case Alex and Megan cannot answer this on my behalf, I have also the option, if unanswered, what's the option for me now? Voicemail, again, my delegates do nothing, or again, try another group, probably. But in that case, I would say do nothing. They can try again. And I can also select here how many seconds before redirecting I want this to ring. So you can choose 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, or even 1 minute. So it's very, how to say, you can personalize every single step here of the calling. And the same we could do for the forward calls. So if you choose to forward your calls straight away, don't want to be ring, you can just select to forward direct to maybe your voicemail, maybe you're on holidays and you don't want anyone picking up your topics, or maybe you defer to a different number, again, my delegates, and so on. The same options here you can see now that you have as you have in the calls ring me there. And our next step here is the voicemail. You can configure your own voicemail. You can record your own option there. Clicking in here, you can then record a greeting, and on the steps too, you can select how you would like to handle your calls when they go to voicemail, and you have again another many options here available for us on that option available there. And greeting language too, you can select the default language. Here my tool is English, so you be auto-selected in English. Text to speech, you have this accessibility option available for us. So you can change here and customize your greeting. Let everything you type in here, you be transferred, of course, to speech then. I don't want to configure my voicemail at the moment. Let's just cancel that for a moment, and then we're gonna go back here on our settings on the calling. Again, as an accessibility tool, we could use the ringtones here, not only for the different tones for all of us, but if you want to make sure we know what exactly is happening, maybe all the calling for us, we have a specific sound, and the forward calls, we have a different sound too. So by the sound, we know what's going on our call. So it can be also a great accessibility tool to use and change the tones maybe for every single different option here for us. On the accessibility side too, we can also have this option selected, is text to phone too. And just bear in mind, if you select here, we need to have the proper equipment for that option in here. So here says that make sure to connect a TTY device to be able to use the accessibility here too. So covering all the settings in here for us for our calls, let's close here, and our next step here, we're gonna navigate through our left-hand side, through our bar, where our calls icon is. Just bear in mind, your order might be not the same as mine, and in any case you're not seeing the calls option here for you on your left, on the 3 dots below here, you can click and add the calls icon, just typing and find the app. So if you type calls, it will bring it back and you'll be able to pin it in here. At the moment, my one is a red there, so it's not showing on the list here. But it's an option to re-add if you're not seeing it here. So let's navigate through the calls and see what is my layout, what I see within that icon in there. And as it loads here, my first view on my phone, you can see on the top I have 2 tabs again, phone and contacts. Let's start on the contacts tab first. On the contacts tab, is where I can find all my contacts here. If you have Skype for Business, if you're coming from Skype for Business, don't worry, you might automatically find that all your contacts have been migrated to here. And you can also import contacts from Outlook there. Another point here, you can also add your own contacts manually. So if you click on Add Contact in there, you can start typing a name. So like I use Richard as an example. I don't want to pick Richard, that's it. Didn't bring anyone for me here as a contact, so it's good. I'll create a new one. I'll hit add. So this is an important tab there. To add a new contact, we need to make sure we have all these fields completed. So we need to add which company Richard works for, what's his title, and his phone number there. I'll pick just a random number there, and I'll click add. There we go. I have Richard added to my contacts here too. And note a little bit that myself, Richard here, we don't have all the options there. They're all on the top contacts we have. So from your contacts, we could maybe chat with them. We could send a formal email or a video call and an audio call from here. Within the three dots too, you can remove from speed dial or completely remove the contact. The speed dial option here as the favorite, you keep this number always on the top of our favorite list or the speed dial list, and it will be on the first tab here. I will show you in a second. And you can see that myself and Richard, we don't have those options because these contacts that we added now are external contacts. So you see, we note this difference in case you added manually any external contacts. That's why you won't see those options in there. Now, however, you can still call them, or again on the three dots, you can add to the speed dial. We can edit anytime. We can remove from here, and we can also block this contact. So when you block this, that means we won't be able to receive any calls from Richard anymore. And in case you change your mind, on the three dots here, you can unblock again at any point. But remember that I mentioned that we're going to go back in there on the settings again, on the settings tab, on the private options. Now, when my blocked contacts area here, when I go to edit block contacts, I can see all my list of blocked contacts too. So another point that we can check anytime to make sure our colleagues are not blocked out and unblock them. We can go on the settings too. So let's unblock Rich and let's unblock myself too. That is it. I'm closing the settings now. We are back on the contacts here. So we could also, just before I move the tab here, just mention here, very important, if you have a bigger list than me and you need to find any contact, maybe you don't want to go through every single one, you can also use the search tab in here to help you find your contacts. Let's move to the phone option there. And now we're going to see the first layout you see when you press the calls icon. Just apologies about the delay a little bit. I'm using a demo environment here in my virtual machine, so it can be a little bit heavy, but here we go. My first left rail here is my dial button. And here I could just type a name to bring up my contacts or type a number. Of course, use the number here to do the call if you have this option available. Below here, this is how your work number will be showcased when you call someone externally, right? Or use this calling to call someone there. So this is where if you would need to know where your number is, you can find it easily in there. And on the middle here, you can see that I have the shared lines in there. I can call my groups. Below here, I have the history, so everything that happened in there, any missed calls, all my calls there, and I can filter for the missed, maybe if I'm receiving anyone, and the voicemail. I can easily access my voicemail anytime, just clicking there. And I have a voicemail from Alex. Let's see it. When we click on the voicemail there, on your right side now, we have all the contacts so you can easily send a message and so on. But remember, I have those options available for me because Alex is part of my organization. And in here, because we have the text-to-speech feature, all that has been said has been transcribed into a message, and I can read it here as a voicemail there. I can also play that on the bottom and listen to the message that Alex left to me.
Hi Adele, can you give me a call back? I'm calling on behalf of Alex, but yeah, please give me a call back. We need to talk about this new project. Okay, bye.
Perfect. You can also change the speed. Maybe someone sent like 5 minutes and we are in a rush. You can also change the speed of that audio here to be listened. So again, voicemail is very cool feature that you can have it. On the right side is the speed dial options. And here Brian mentioned that we can tag as a favorite. Just going back again to my contacts here, we can tag as a favorite. Let me try to do there we go. I'll add myself on the 3 dots, add to speed dial. And now when I go back to my phone, on this area here is where I can see my favorite contacts there, including myself now. So this is nothing more than a shortcut where I can grab someone very quickly and call them back here. On below, I have also the options to start creating groups, and there are my groups that I've created, and on the 3 dots, I can add a contact to this anytime. So I can build my groups and have them ready for me there. And when I maybe choose to delegate, I can use those pre-made groups in here available for me. Let me see if I can add myself. Didn't find these to be from my address list, probably here. Yes, so you bring from not external added in that group, so I need to add Alex in here. So there you go. So I can create Alex, and I can add maybe Alex to all the groups that I want to make sure as he's my delegate, he can be in all the groups available for me there. Below here, I have also the option to forward to a call or to a group. And if I click below, again, I can change the settings through here. I don't need to go back to my settings there. And I can also customize my setup in there, my audio device. So make sure here on the device settings, if you're wearing maybe headphones and so on, if you have any other device, you can set and customize it here, specifically on the settings. You can also access this, as you can see, in the settings. You can also access from the 3 dots here on the top there. And let's go through what exactly we are here for. Let's now start in the call option there. And for that, I will call straight away Alex. And when I call Alex, you can see that if you're familiarized with Teams already, you can see that a pop-up here, a screen as very similar to meeting you pop up for us. And again, just apologize the delay here as I call Alex or as I call Richard. There you go, should be loading now. I think Alex answered because it stopped calling. There it goes, a bit slow, but loaded. There you go. It's saying that I don't have microphone again because I'm using a second machine within my machine, so I don't have the feature available here, but that's no problem. We don't need a microphone at the moment. And I have Alex with me on the call. Hello, Alex. Thank you very much for joining me. And you see that as a pretty similar than a meeting. However, on the 3 dots here within more actions, as I call, I'm calling from my call, I have the dial pad available for me here. So I could dial a number in and add more people to that call. Again, there I could hold this, and let's say, Alex, I need a minute. I really need to check something else first. So I can put Alex on hold here on the moment. You can see that Alex is on hold, and then maybe I can go back to my Teams there, go back to my chat, and do anything else, everything that I need. Maybe I need to contact my manager, make sure I have the right information for Alex in there. And something happened there. I just do apologize. I heard the drop call, but I don't think Alex dropped it. Yeah, there you go. It's all good. So when I have the right information, I can go back to Alex here and resume the call at any moment. And then Alex will be there on pause, and then you can resume. Again, apologies for that, but it's just taking a little bit of time here for me to go back to that call. And there we go. Here you go. We're back. So another option that we have within that call, if I click on the 3 dots, I could transfer. Transfer, if I click there, I have just the option to invite someone here. On that call, let me try Megan first. If I select Megan, Alex, you'll be already transferred to him, to her. She'll pick it up, and I can also select the option to bring it back if there's no answer. So maybe Alex needed to speak with a different department of my colleague. I can just transfer him directly, and if no one picks up, the calls will come back to me. So on the bottom here too, I also have the option to transfer to work number there, and that is the Megan's work number. And let's transfer. When I transfer it again, Alex will be transferred, and if transfers fail, you can see that Megan is calling me back straight away because that transfer failed. So that is great there. I'll just pick it up again there. I'll see if Alex is back with me. There we go. So pretty straightforward in there. On the 3 dots again, just in case you want to make sure the person is there to avoid this back and forth that just happened here, you also have the option to consult then transfer. When I select this option here, you can see that a chat will be open there. So let's very quickly, I can choose the person. Again, just type in here a name. I can bring Megan on a chat and select to have a conversation with her before I transfer to Alex. So now I can make sure Megan is there and Megan's aware of the topic that I'm sending to her. And when I transfer, the call won't come back to me. So you can see that the chat here open. I can just type and say hello. I have a good example here. Hey Megs, how are you? Alex is on the other line. He needs some help. Are you free and okay to take him? So we can have a quick call here, and then when we're ready, we can just transfer there. And now Alex, you'll be sent direct to Megan. Let's see just if he comes back. Let's give a second there. Left. Okay, yeah, transfer. It didn't select it before. Let me just call Alex back here. So we have the second option available for us. That was the difference between the call, the simple call that we do for the phone. I want to showcase you now. When you start adding someone else to that call, that our call gains a little bit more features available for us. So let me call again Alex as a second example there. Let's maximize this option here. Thank you again, Rich. There you go. So I'm talking to Alex. I need some support in that. And instead of transfer, I need to be part of that conversation. I can just select on the participants here and start inviting people to that call. So I can call my colleague Megan into that. I'm just not going to be able to showcase to you all that because I don't have no one to pick up for Megan. But from the third person we add to that, it will work. Well, if it doesn't work here, no problem, but I can showcase here. You can see that from the third person we add to that conversation or calls, now we gain more option, and it is almost amazing now. I have reactions here available for me, and I still have on the settings here all the more options. You can see that now I can check my device in settings. I can check my call health. I can change the view, exactly the option that I have in meetings. So I can maybe see everyone in a large gallery that puts all the pictures aligned. Together mode that puts us all seated down in a nice auditorium. Or I can see the gallery on the top. If I'm sharing the screen, that means I will see the screen in the middle and the people on the top. I can maybe turn on my live captions, start recording, and so on. So all the options available in a meeting I have now because I have added a third person here on that call. I can also share a screen and so on. Just a reminder here, if someone is calling from a number, from a phone, of course, they won't have available all this resource, but they can still listen to this conversation here that we are talking about. So we have done a little bit here on the meetings, on this call and meetings. But as mentioned, this is a little bit very similar to a meeting. So what you're going to do quickly now, you're going to see the call options through a meeting. I'm just leaving the calls and I'm going to quickly go to my calendar here and create a meeting from here. But just bear with me, we're not covering meetings in here. It's just a part of the sessions, how we can see and find the number to dial in and how we can maybe help colleagues that are not in the same country, in the same time zone to connect with us via the mobile number. So, new meeting here. And very quickly, I'll just give a simple title. I can just give here call test. I can add my attendees here and I want Alex, for example. I'm fine with the time and so on. I'll hit send. And now I will open that invitation so you all can see what I want to showcase to you all now. There you go. After sending the invitation, you can see now that on my invite, on this invite, I will have my details meetings. But this is what I want to showcase to you all now. On the details meetings is where we can find a phone call, a number, where you can dial in for that meeting here. In case, again, you're using a lot of calls, you want to share this meeting with maybe a guest, external, and so on, but they cannot join you on the meeting, on the call, on Teams, sorry, they can bring in on the mobile number. But then you need to have the conference ID too, so it's very important there. And a curiosity here is that this number will be always your number. What you change only is the conference ID. So if you create 3-4 meetings, they will be all the same number to dial in. They will only change the ID number there. And what I want to showcase in here, you can see that my tenant at the moment is set on United States, is in New York City. So if I call from UK, for example, I will be paying a lot for that call. And to avoid any colleague or any person to need to go through for that, what we can do, we can just go through find a local number. Again, it's a little bit delay in there. You can find a local number and see like that way. On that option here, we're gonna see all the countries available for us to dial in from a local number. So this call, it won't have the same costs as it would have if you share just the United States number, for example. So any point, if you want to support your colleagues there, the ones that they don't have the invite, the invitation, you can just open that link, make sure you have all the options available here for us and all the countries too. So you'll be sharing this number instead, and of course then the ID too on top of that. I will give just a pause in here, going through a lot of content at the moment, and Rich, I will pause and check with you how it's going Q&A, and do you have any questions, please?
Thanks, Nat, for checking in the Q&A. We currently don't have any questions there, so I think I'm good to just hand it back to you.
Thank you very much, Rich. So, on the meetings, on the calls, we covered everything there. Just a last step that I would love to showcase to you all. In case you are the person who is delivering this meeting there, and you forgot your PIN, you set a PIN for you to join, you can reset it at any point too. So let me open this link, and you're gonna see it further. So if you want to have more privacy, more security in your calls, you can have these options to have the PIN. And in case you have missed your PIN, let me just pick the right count here. Again, just loading a little bit there. Just how the connections work here for me to showcase to you all. While it loads here, I can see we have a great question there. Can you create multiple call groups or only one? Yes, you can have more than one group. It works, yes, we can. There we go. When we open the options to set the PIN, we have also the options. You can see that unfortunately I don't have the options here on that tenant. What I can do here is on the voicemail there. You can also configure it from here and personalizing even more your voicemail there. So from that website, you have a little bit more options and to set the voicemail here for you. You have the option, for example, to change it from only playing the greeting for playing and hang up, playing then transfer the call, playing greeting then allow the caller to record a message, and so on. So if you select the option on the meeting invitation, there you go on the reset PIN. You should see the reset PIN there. Apologies that didn't open for me here. But you see the PIN reset options, just go through reset. And you also have the tab for the voicemail option here. And it'll give you extra options there as the answers rules that you cannot find via Teams. Which I can see that so far, this is the only question that we had. We covered everything from the agenda today. We went through the calls, the settings, and the meetings options here to call from a dial number. I will pause again and check with you if there's anything else, any more questions coming, and then if not, maybe you can give this time back, this 15 minutes back to the audience.
Perfect. Thank you, Nat, for answering that question. It doesn't look like we have any more questions here in the Q&A. So what I'll do is I'll just pop the link in for the survey.
Thank you very much, Rich. And if you have joined us before, you have seen before, but if it's your first time, I'm just gonna open here the survey too. Rich is posting the link for us. It's a very quickly one, it's less than 2 minutes, and I would love to know what did you think about this session, how it was. And there's only 3 questions there. For us, 8 above means that was a good session, 7 below means that was not good. So if you like the session, 8, if you feel that it was really good, 9, and if you're very satisfied, it was a 10, you learned something new, you enjoyed the session. And also below here, we have another 3 open questions. So let us know what was the most valuable feature, what's the least valuable thing that you learned today. Maybe next time you can avoid covering, you can remove from agenda. And of course, if you'd like to have more sessions, just let us know too here, and we'll be happy to arrange that for you all. And thank you very much for joining us today. I appreciate your time and see you soon. Thank you.